right, everybody. It is time for Belovsky Science. And you know something? I just noticed I forgot to close my door. So let me hit pause and close the door. Okay, I bet you didn't even know I did it. I did it just like that. No, I forgot to close the door. And I try to keep that door closed to keep commotions and noises and all that down, so that it doesn't disturb us. I saw somebody walk by and I was like, oh, I need to close that door. All right. So today is Wednesday, January the 6th, 2001. We are in the middle of the microscope. You got a test on Friday. Let me get a couple of nitpicky things knocked out here. I am in the middle of getting graded your bonus work from before Christmas. So you have either received an email from me saying that I have graded it, because I have graded a few, or you will get one from me today or tomorrow. And it takes me just a little bit of time to grade those. But what your email will say is it will say, what was that? That was chapter 22, lesson 1 and 2. It will say bonus points awarded, no bonus points awarded. So for those of you that did the work and you did the work 100%, then you're going to get an email that's going to say chapter 22, lesson 1, bonus points awarded. If you did all the second lesson, chapter 22, lesson 2, bonus points awarded. Now, if you did part of the work and turned it in, or if you didn't do any of it, then you're going to get an email from me that says no points awarded. Okay? And unfortunately, there's some folks that did some work, and I think that they are going to get partial credit for it. And no, if you did the whole sheet, then you get the bonus points. If you did not complete the work, then you get no points whatsoever. That was part of the deal. You get bonus points for 100% completion. There are no partial points that are being given out. So, Mr. Belovsky, if I didn't do one definition, does that mean I don't get any points? You're exactly right. That's exactly what it means. All right. Mr. Belovsky, if I left out one human impact, all right, if I didn't write a human impact for Tundra, I don't get the points? Nope, you don't get the points. Sorry about that. That was well described before Christmas, that it has to be 100% done. And so now the misspelled words and poor sentence structure and some of the other things that I'm overlooking, I'm letting you get away with. But if you left something out or if you didn't complete, then you are not getting points. So if you get an email from me and if you're wondering, what is this? Okay, it's probably the bonus work that you did back before Christmas. All right. Trying to think, what else did I... All right, let's move on. All right, so what we're looking at right here is we're looking at the Google Classroom page. All right, let's do fifth period today. Now, it doesn't matter that I'm doing fifth period. If you're in first period, second period, sixth period, it's all the same. What you need to do is you need to go to your classwork page. And you need to click on warm-ups. And when you click on warm-ups, here is the warm-up of the day. Name the knobs used to focus the microscope. And we studied that yesterday. And in fact, you may hear the answer later on today as we go through class. But what is the names of the knobs that are used to help focus the microscope? And we'll get to that more later on. All right, so this right here is what I'm working off of. So there's the warm up. All right, so let's get into what we're needing to know for class today. All right, so you need to split your screen in half. I shouldn't have to say this every time, but I do. You need to put me on one side of your computer screen where you can hear me talking and where you can probably hit the pause button. And you need to have on another side of the screen, you need to have this Google Doc right here, the microscope part. So get that done right now and hit pause on the video and get that done. All right, so we're going to assume that you've got that done. Don't click on the PDF part because you can't type on this. This is for me and for you to use when you're not listening to me. You need to click on this right here because you can type on this. All right, so I'm going to click on this right now. Yesterday, we learned about the coarse adjustment knob. We learned about the fine adjustment knob. We learned about the arm. Okay. Now, today we are going to talk about the stage clip, the base, and the eyepiece. Tomorrow we will talk about the body tube, nose piece, high power objective lens, low power objective lens, diaphragm, and mirror and slide. So we will get all of these done tomorrow, and then Friday you will take the test. Okay. But for today, let's get these four knocked out real quick, and then talk about here. Before we get to them, let me show you something real quick. I kind of confused some folks yesterday, and this right here, I kind of made some folks believe that the first microscope was invented by Robert Hooke. No, Robert Hooke made the first. He's credited for making improvements to the microscope, and the microscope kind of looking. Here's Robert Hooke's microscope, and it kind of looks like what we use today. And he's the one that found cork cells and things like that. The first microscope was created by these guys. This is Hans and Zacharias Johansson, okay? And in America, just down here in the South, we're going to have folks that are going to say, these guys' names are Hans and Zacharias Jansen. Okay. In actuality, their names is Hans and Zacharias Janssen. And they are credited for creating this right here. And yes, this is a microscope. Now, it is not like what you are used to seeing. And this is what is credited as being the first microscope. So what is a microscope? Okay, you hear me breathing deeply. Okay, a microscope is anything that is used to make something look larger. And that does include a magnifying glass. But a magnifying glass is just one lens, okay? You hold a magnifying glass with one hand and you look at a textbook, or you take it out in the backyard and you look at creatures crawling around in the grass, or you try to zap them with sunlight. All right, that is one lens, okay? This is a magnifying glass that has two lenses that are being used. One here in the eyepiece and one in the objective lens. All right, so this is what is called a compound microscope. What does compound mean? When you hear the word compound, you should think of two or more, okay? A good example that I used in class today is a compound sentence. All right, a compound sentence is two sentences joined together to make one. Here's a good example. I went to the store. I bought a Coke. Now, if you were writing that down, you wouldn't want to write all that down. You'd want to shorten it and put it together. Okay? So you would say, I am going to the store and buy. I'm going to the store and buy. Okay, how would I put it? I went to the store to buy a Coke. Okay, that is a compound sentence. I am going to go to the store and buy a Coke. Okay, so those are two sentences joined together to make what is called a compound sentence. Okay, whenever you hear compound, you should think of two. Okay, well, we've got two lenses here. All right, and Robert Hooke's microscope, there are two lenses as well. All right, so these are compound microscopes. Oh, and by the way, somebody pointed out, hey, look, there's a photograph of the guy. I don't know who this is because this microscope was invented in the late 1500s, and photography didn't come around until the 1800s. And so that was 200 and something years difference. And this guy, that wouldn't be that guy. It would be, this would be the guy. So I don't know who this is. And I think this is another one of those situations where don't believe everything you see on the internet. Anyway, Leeuwenhoek's microscope. Here's what Leeuwenhoek's microscope looked like. Here's a picture of Leeuwenhoek looking through the microscope. Here he's looking at a candle, and he's got something on the microscope, and he's using the candle as a light source. And as I look at this right here, you can see the lens were located here. Whatever the sample was you were looking at was located here. You could focus this right here, and you could move your whatever you were looking at. You could move it up and down with this right here. So now let me show you real quickly a couple of modern day microscopes. This is a scanning electron microscope, and these microscopes are super expensive. You would not find this in a middle school. You wouldn't even find this in a high school. You might find this in a medical facility. You might find it, you would definitely find it in colleges and universities. But this is way far advanced than what a high school and middle school would use. What's the advantage of having a electron microscope like this? It gives you super detailed images. What do I mean by that? Okay. Well, this is an image like what you get to see through an electron microscope. Look at how crisp and these images are. And if you're wondering what is this you're looking at, this right here is pollen. If you suffer from allergies, this is what your enemy is right here. And when you look at this, you can understand if you have allergies, you can understand why when you start breathing this stuff in, why your sinuses start reacting to it. Look at the spiky, rough edges on this stuff. It's causes nightmares in your sinuses. It sticks it, and that's why your body sends mucus and snot to that area, trying to cover this stuff up so that it won't stick and scrape you inside of your sinuses anymore. So look how detailed the images are. That's what you get with an electron microscope. Look at this insect head right here. Look at that eye right there. Look at the antenna. You can even see the fuzz growing out of them. It's super, super cool looking. Look at this right here. That right there is a winged ant, and you can see the detail in the body of the creature. So that's what you get with a electron microscope. You don't need that in a middle school. Now, this right here is a scanning tunneling electron microscope. And look how big this thing is. It could take up a whole room. I mean, it's massive. And you don't even need this in a hospital or a medical facility because this thing can see all the way down to the molecules that makes up matter. And so you don't need that in a hospital. You're needing to see bacteria and other things that these things right here can see, what makes up the bacteria. And you don't need that in a medical facility, but you can see why they're so expensive. They wouldn't let Coach Belovsky in the same room with some of this stuff because these are super, super expensive. These microscopes right here may cost $1 million or more. All right. They are super, super expensive. All right. So let's get to these definitions now. All right. So what do you need to write down? If I can find it. It's over here. All right. On your sheet for stage clips, base, and eyepiece. All right, you need to write these things. For stage, you need to write down it supports the slide that is being used. All right, so supports the slide being used. And the stage is this square item that you see me circling right there. Hit pause and type in supports the slide that's being used. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you all of this stuff here in just a minute. Let me just go through right now and define all these, and then we'll come back to them later. All right, let me change my color here. All right, stage clip. All right, what is the stage clip? It holds the slide in place. All right, the stage clip are these items that I'm circling. There's one right there, and there's another one right there. Inside of here, you can see the stage clips. Holds the slide in place. Hit pause and type that. All right, I'm going to show you that on my microscope here in just a minute. Here, let me get another color here. I don't want to use yellow. Yellow is hard to see. Let's use green. All right, base. Okay, the base it supports the microscope. This right here is the base. And of course, it hides back here. But that is the base. The base is what the microscope sits on. All right, hit pause. Or what you need to know, what you need to type is supports the microscope. Hit pause and come back. All right, one more word here, and let's use purple. All right, eyepiece. Okay, what is the eyepiece? The eyepiece is this right here. Now, you need to type what it says right there. Contains a lens that magnifies about 10 times. In other words, it gives you 10 times magnification. But you also need to write this. You need to write it's what you look through. Okay? Hit pause and I'll explain why. Okay, so you've typed in eyepiece. What you look through contains lens that magnifies 10 times. And the reason why you need to write down what you look through is because right down here for power, low power objective lens, it also magnifies 10%. So I wanted you to write what you look through so that you can be able to separate these two. Okay? All right, so I'm going to move my picture now. I wish I could figure out a way to make this just huge, but I can't. So, all right. I got my microscope right here real quick. I'm going to show you the things that we just got through highlighting. All right, the stage. The stage is this square item that you see right here, this black item. This is, you can see the light shining off of it. This is what the slide sits on. And the stage clips are these little metal items that you see me playing there. It's these items right here. And what they do is when you put a slide on the stage, you move the clips on top of it. And now the slide, which is made, this is a glass slide, it won't fall off. It is attached to the stage now. Okay. And that's important because this is such a delicate, precise piece of instrumentation. Somebody walking behind you, their footsteps on the floor can vibrate the floor and vibrate the microscope, and it can make the slide move around. Somebody bumping the table just a little bit with their leg, just like what I did just then, can cause it to move around. Well, if you put the stage clips on, when you find what you're looking for, it can hold it in place and make it try to help you to keep in place whatever it is that you're looking for. Because remember, these things are microscopic, and a little bit of movement is big on a microscope. And so something can get knocked out of place very, very simple. The base is this right here. It's what supports the microscope. It's what you use to carry the microscope. And then the eyepiece, what you look through right here. I've got a glare. This is the eyepiece, and you can see the shine of the lens kind of through. That is to protect dust and all that getting down in there. But one of the things about these eyepieces is they come out. And that's why you have to be very careful with microscopes, because some eyepieces will come out, because I have another eyepiece that I can look in there when you're looking at certain items. So this eyepiece, you have to be very careful. That's why when you carry a microscope, you have to be very careful and delicate with it. You don't ever want to be moving around and jumping with it. Or look here. See, the eyepiece can actually, if you turn it upside down, it can fall out, which is hard to see against my black sweatshirt. But that's why you want to be very careful. I would do everything that just about most of the stuff that I wish I could do it on a desk to show you, but having it hold it up for the microscope, or for the camera to be able to see this stuff. So, all right. So that's it for the day. You're going to have a test on Friday on these items today. Tomorrow we're going to go over body tube, nose piece, high power objective lens, low power objective lens, diaphragm, mirror, and we're also going to, on Friday or tomorrow, we're going to give you a definition for slide, as I write slide on here. And then you'll take the test on Friday. So email me if you have a question. I'm going to be at school the rest of the day. I'm going to be grading stuff. I'm going to be working on other things I've got to work on. So I've got my lunch sitting back here behind me. So if you need something, email me. I'll probably be at school for a while today. And if not, I'll get back in touch with you as soon as I see your email at home or tomorrow. But you are responsible for getting this information, defined, and on that you will be turning in the microscope review sheet tomorrow or Friday. I haven't decided yet maybe Friday. I forgot what time here, let's take a look real quick. Let's see here. I guess I need to go to a pointer. When is this is due on January the 8th. So that is Friday. So your review sheet is due on Friday. You'll take the test on Friday. And yeah, that's good. So 2 grades on Friday. All right. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and we will talk to y'all tomorrow. If you have a question, email me, let me know. Have a great day. Goodbye.